Thank you so much for staying tuned to this channel. Yes, if you just joined us, it is this morning on ITV, and I'm Wilson on Marshall. I say Barrister Patrick Isekwene here with me in the studio, and of course, Honorable Derek Ohuwago. I want to take a look at the upcoming election, putting in mind, or having in mind rather, the warning of the World Bank saying that if Nigeria isn't careful, even those that are able or that are still able to feed their families may not be able to do so because of the increase in poverty. People are asking right now, is poverty determinant in the forthcoming election? Is it a factor to consider in the forthcoming election? Can it sway the minds of the voters positively or negatively on how, and of course the manner by which they choose their leaders? All right, that is what we really want to zoom in on right now on this particular discussion segment. Mr. Patrick, I want to start off with you. Poverty and 2023 general elections. Take it up from there.
Yes, ordinarily, poverty ought to be a guiding principle to every masses of this country. Ought to be a guiding principle. But like I said earlier on, I said Nigerians are used to suffering. No matter how they pay hardship, they don't care. They will say they will manage it. I have been their lifestyle. So I don't see in this situation where we find ourselves, it ought to be a factor in voting or choosing any of or voting for any particular political party. Honestly speaking, it ought to be. But being what we wear is simple. People they just 1,500, they said their votes. Monetary politicians don't want to do it. Black money, they will buy votes. At the end of the day, you see the somebody will emerge. Who won't want to emerge? Not the issue of the suffering is no longer looking to, but they are able to intimidate the masses, suppress them, induce them by all kind of things. But with suffering, what we've seen but what we have seen on ground, ordinarily, what we have now should be a very predominant factor to vote for a particular party. Because Nigeria have been wallowing in the nation of poverty. They have been in kind of shackles of poverty. They have so much far too long. But the ability to stand this ground, I think that poverty level also have the play of inducing them that they don't even know what to do at that stage. It's like, so you see on an election day, trying to think, oh, they are usually swayed. But these are people who have been suffering, a lot of complaints here and here. Now, for instance, I'm aware of this government able to deny the masses 2 laws, very fundamental. One of the laws will have solved 50% of our political problem. One of the laws. But what did they do? I mean, the issue of direct primaries. We agreed, both joint House of Assembly, both the lower and the upper. They have accepted it. But when you go to the presidency, Buhari refused to sign it. And at the end of the day today, it's a Bakadabra. They were able to throw it away. What can help the masses? We're having a direct primaries, whereby every masses to have allowed, or every member of the political party to have allowed to sign his franchise.
But they made it open that whether I want to go direct or indirect is your choice.
No, that is if it's no choice, because the issue of influence is there. Now I told you, the governor has so much power. Those in power have so much power to tell you, oh, at the end of the day, no, indirect. That's what I'm saying about. But if you make it clear that it's only one way, direct, there's no discretionary power for you to decide. But there's discretionary power. That's the issue of direct canvassing likely for the next 100 years in Nigeria. But by what you judge in all that. Now, then again, the issue of Section 8412 is also now. I know what it took both the upper and lower our house to pass that to push that law. It is not easy. But I can't imagine whereby a president or a governor, an incumbent person, but then is a candidate, and again, the other candidate, the other side is another person. The president will not use all his power, incumbency power to suppress other people, other candidates. But this is before I've told that you must leave. You cannot vote and make it clear. You can't have a plain for everybody. Now, what are we seeing now? It's other way. So you expect by 2023, Nigeria will just start voting for you. But I told you because where we found ourselves, Nigeria is a country they are used to suffering, and the poverty have made them not to reason well. on that day, okay, give me 1,000, give me 2,000. They forgot all their sufferings. That's why it's dicey. So I cannot say authoritatively that it might be a problem for voting, because I know my people, I know who they are.
Okay. He said it could go both ways, either for a free, fair, credible election, or it might just be the other way around. Honorable Derek, you are a politician. Of course, you know the grassroots so well. Do you think that poverty is a factor to consider in the forthcoming election?
A factor to consider, yes, but to the disadvantage of those who put these people in the state of poverty that they are in today. You will recall the last governorship election of Edo State. And a particular candidate, his agents were dosing out 10,000 naira to buy votes on election day. And the other one were not giving 1 naira to electorates. But the one that did not pay 1 naira to buy vote was the one that emerged as the governor of the state. You know, there was a time, any wise individual will know not to use two strategy, you know, use one strategy more than 2 times. Those who succeed know that for you to succeed, you need to evolve a new kind of strategy. During the 2019 election, buying of votes was what gave victory to the people that won as at that time. But when they wanted to test it again in 2020, during the last governorship election, it failed woefully. So it became a testing ground for the buying of votes all over Nigeria. The consciousness of the electorate have been awakened. And you see over the TV, radio, all the different news, media, outlets, people have been, activists and other well-meaning individuals in this country have been coming up to conscientize the electorate on the need not to sell votes. If you must receive money, receive it and still vote your conscience. And all of these campaigns have worked very well. And the electorate that is angry, bitter, that a government that it voted because it trusted that government to deliver democracy, dividend of democracy to it, and that government refused to deliver it. I can assure you that that electorate, even if you give them 1 million naira, just as you have betrayed them, they will betray you again. So if poverty is going to be a determining factor in this election, it will work against those who have impoverished the electorates. That is why today goodwill as a politician or as a leader, goodwill is very key to winning election going forward. You need to ensure that these people who have voted you in, who have gathered themselves and sent you to a position of authority, if all you get in that position of power is history, good name, why don't you hold on to that? You want to have history, you want to have the monies that come with it, you want to have the honor, you want to have everything to yourself. My brother, is that no witchcraft? So if anybody wants to say poverty is a factor, it will be a factor working against those that have impoverished the electorate.
Is it going to be a factor working against those that have impoverished the electorate, or is going to be a kind of an avenue for massive vote buying, whether they've been impoverished or not? They just want to satisfy their tummy on that particular day. Over to you, Barrister Patrick.
You see, like I said, whether I worked or not, the buying of votes remains. Because they know that they can easily have new converts at that moment, at that time point. That's why they will believe in buying that vote. And buying that vote, not working against those who give them the money. The poor also sell their votes, sell their conscience. And let me tell you, the number of people who are not voting are more than those who vote. Some of them are already annoyed. Some are protesting. What would I do and vote? Waste my time for what I will not see the edge. Some of them go to INEC offices. You see cards, they have to collect their PVC. They're not interested. Some of them collect their PVC for bank use and all so many other. They're not interested. Would that change the whole thing? At the end of the day, they will change the results. What will you do? So, by the vote, you will get combat, it will still work. Not say it will be, because I know Nigerians. I believe some of us have conscience. I haven't given me money, I'll vote for him. Now, give me money now. After all, he's a commissioner, he's a governor. For the past 4 years, he don't give me 2,000. And somebody's trying to give me 2,000 in the grace.
We don't want to train them.
No, that language, go to the streets.
Okay.
They will tell you what they talk so.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Some people on that day, some people will go to that election, even a family of 3 or 4, they calculate how much they're going to get. That's why you take them pot of soup to eat for 1 week. They after that one, at the end of the day, they get 20,000. We tell you, which of the government have I gotten any money? The 4,000 naira during the time of COVID-19, we they share 5,000 naira to the common man. I'm not forgot the 5,000 naira. I'm still 5,000 naira telling me I will vote for him. That's why people go to lay money. It's just one of them they use now. It's close. Airtime back, they will share that very day, rapper. They will vote for them. God, they like to share. So that's why I say my people, I know them. It's not when you are not a hungry man is a hungry man now. It's not when you are comfortable, you talk about I will not collect because you are okay. But a man that who is suffering, who is not okay, that 5,000 naira means a lot to him. Yes, if you don't need it, man, I need it. That's what they will tell you. So that's what I'm telling you. It's going to have a lot to. That's why politicians know this. That day, so many things going to play. Even just to take away food, rice. They will cook food, take away. They will collect and vote for that party. I'm taking my lunch. Then look at the things that are going to play. It's not a joking matter. I mean, I'm a realist, I'm a practical man. I'm telling you what you see on ground. Who tell you that I will not take money, I will not sell my what my business with government? Did they know me? How much have I gotten from them? Since the government have been what have I gotten from them? That is the thing that's the reason that very day of the election day. Yes, sometimes the reason of election day. Right. So government know all this, so they don't even care. At the end of the day, we know what we're going to do. Because this is their plan. They will tell you, at the end of the day, you see, issue of borrowing money, billion they are borrowing, now election is very close. You see them going to borrow more billions. It's not for the elections. Who is even who?
Okay. From what he said he knows his people. There are some of them who said they're birthright for a pot of porridge. This time around for take away rice, so to speak, in a can. Doesn't mean that poverty in 2023 election will make Nigerians, many of them that are below poverty line, to sell or mortgage their conscience for what they will get that particular point in time?
Well, that question I already answered it before. But issue of poverty. Yeah. It's unfortunate that we have a Bureau of Statistics in Nigeria. They are not the ones who gives us information, details about the poverty, about how they evaluate the different poverty profile of this country. The World Bank recently has said that more than 20% of Nigerians are below poverty, extreme poverty, below poverty level. And more than 50% of Nigerians are poor. You know? So in a nation where about 100 million people are poor, in a nation where the electors think that the government is not doing enough to help their standard of living, in a situation where today, even though minimum wage is around 30,000 naira, yet there are some families who stay in a house because of their large size and their rent is about that same amount. And imagine that they have just one breadwinner. And you are telling me that a government that has caused this kind of devastation in their lives will now come to give them maybe highest 20,000 to vote for them, and they will vote. Okay. I've said it here.
You just hold on right now. Stay with that thought. We want to go for a break. When we return, we'll continue with this discussion. Don't go away.
TMI, every opinion counts.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. About to commence our descent on this program. Today's edition of This Morning on ITV is all about the 2023 general election, poverty as a determining factor. All right, I still have these two gentlemen here with me in the studio, Barrister Patrick Isekwene and Honorable Derek Uhunwago. You were making your point. Before I call it a wrap on this segment because our time is completely up. I mean, take it up from there. You talked about people being impoverished. In the course of the first discussion, you talked about politicians of this dispensation not acting the way they ought to act, knowing fully well that next year is election. They ought to be doing making some moves to make people happy, but it's not happening. Is that a game card or a game play? Vis-a-vis the poverty factor we're talking about.
Well, like I said earlier, that the issue of poverty being a factor in this election, I've already talked about that one previously, and that it will be a factor that will play against those who have impoverished the electorate. But there's a fundamental problem in our socio-economic structure in this country. The people in the helms of affairs, the people in government of this country, seem not to care about the economic development of the citizens of this country. Remember that countries like America, some European nations, and even China can go to war because of just for the benefit of the economic well-being, the economic development of its entrepreneurs. When countries fight, as Europe is subjugating Africa, now China's turn, it's all because they want businessmen in their country to thrive, so that they'll be able to access raw materials, so that they'll be able to expand their business to Nigeria, and so on and so forth. But what is the Nigerian government doing? They are doing almost nothing in this regard. For example, this is almost the only country in the world where when government is making policy, it does not deliberately design that policy in a way that it will favor its citizens in terms of business growth and development. Government will only design a policy that would benefit that government, that will bring about increasing revenue, without also trying to see how it can increase business growth and development of its populace. For example, electricity should have been deliberately, put as a state of emergency, in this country, so that every policy that is required to ensuring that the electrical or power sector of this country is able to give power to everybody for 24 hours. This alone, I don't know why they don't know that if this problem is solved, if this issue is resolved, Nigeria will automatically grow by 50% in terms of its economic template. But I'm glad that recently, I think they've been able to give the states, each state, the power to be able to pursue its own electricity generation. So, and also the state governments, even before now, before the present administration, have been pursuing that line. We have the Azura power plant. We have the Osiumo power plant. Those states is already generating power. So those states would be able to benefit from this new policy. But I'm surprised why it took so long for us to realize that this is what we need to bring this country to a state of Eldorado. So it's rather unfortunate, but I'm glad that slowly but surely Nigeria is, trying to find its way, into that state of perfection. There's an issue of influence. You see, in this country, only the influential seem to get their way, without giving regard to hard work, industrialization, honestly, all these virtues. Once any individual comes, we don't care where he or she makes his money. Once he or she just comes and presents some money and try to give the impression that he or she is affluent, you see everybody try to gravitate towards he or she with a view to meeting their needs. But those people who have been on ground, who have been working hard towards trying to see how a structure and establishment will, grow and thrive, there seem to be little or nothing to show for it. Okay. So the government of the day needs to encourage hard work, needs to encourage people to be hard work, needs to encourage people to be honest, need to encourage people to be focused, need to give the impression or conviction to the people in this country that once any individual is properly trying to get find his way in a direction, that the government is there, to assist that individual.
All right, thank you so much, Derek. That is your last line of the discussion because our time is up. Barrister Patrick, your last line of discussion, what do you think should be the way forward to at least wrestle Nigerians out of the clutches?
We say thank you. Well, sorry, that's a Nigerian issue of life, Nigerian factor. So let's take it by the wayside. You see, when you try to solve a problem, you are unable to solve it. You try at all costs. I'm trying to look at, I'm trying to oppose forestry by Nigerian problem. You are unable. You mean you have a fundamental problem. So for another to get to El Dorado, like what my colleague here are trying to offer, you see, if we continue in that way, I think it remains a dream. We can progress. Ordinarily, Nigerian problem is a man-made. It's a man-made problem. We can surmount it. Nigeria can become the best in the world, or compete among the best in the world, economically and otherwise. But our politicians, that's why you have a fundamental problem. Try to look at it. Why? Once you are doing an appointment, you are a governor whatsoever, they start bringing crony friends, associates, some people. Around them, you have SSA up to 300. Oh, political advisor, this. These are people that lie. They treat politics with lies. They don't take, these are people, they don't tell the truth. The same government is sensitive to you, but if you see making law, you'll be shocked if it's part of these states. It's cronies, lies all over. For their own selfish reason, for their own stomach. We tell the government, I'm going to do, they're going to do. No, don't. See, they're enjoying that. Yeah? These are sacrifices. The government might have a good will. But some of us around him will not let him do the right thing. It's not with the presidency. That's why before they come in there, they will tell you, they give you lie, $1 will be equal to naira. They talk all sorts of things. But let them come there. Those sacrifices, a tree cannot make a forest. That's why I'm happy with Solo, though, the governor of Anambra State. About 2 weeks ago, he said, if you want a job, please apply. He said, he's back, he's your than me. He said, you have to be on merit. Because I don't want to mislead me. He said, apply just like any employment. The president said, what's wrong with that man? You make him book an application for appointment. He said, no, you have to apply. Let me know whether you qualify or not for the job. So we want to bring people who are technical into system and make sure those who are around them are sample was who have a sound mind and the heart, everything. They're able to advise positively. Right. Not those that lies to get your own stomach.
Thank you.
Sacrifice everywhere. That is the problem of Nigeria.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I appreciate the wonderful analysis. You've heard them. It is definitely going to be a fact that's going about poverty. Is it going to help us positively or negatively? When they come, we will know. Some are saying 2,000 naira, 3,000 naira, 5,000 naira. Some are saying, so I'll be like, no, because of this party, we're not going to take this. Go along with your money, want to vote our conscience. That's the one house. Some are saying, others will be like, please, bring the money. We need the money to go feed ourselves. We'll vote for you, no palava. You see, two different sides of a coin. How do you think all this will pan out? Don't forget that Nigeria is our country. We want to make it better. Have to do the right thing. Go get your PVC and get ready to vote for your mind and your conscience. Hunger or no hunger, do the right thing at the right time with the right intention. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on today's show. I appreciate a wonderful analysis. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
ITV is 25. Most of us are already in the church thanking God. Tomorrow is going to be celebration upon celebration galore. For all of us in the studio, we're saying have a wonderful Sunday ahead. Bye for now.